on their heads. If you want to hear more.
You having trouble with the Tachovites?
I'd say it's time to get payback for all those shenanigans up there. You look like you might be good at that sort of thing. And since you're already here, why don't you help me out? Trust me, I'll make it worth your while. What do you say?
Well, I might be able to help. But first, I want to know what this is about.
All right, listen up. Up on that hill over there is Tachov. All I want you to do is to go over there and give them a taste of their own medicine. We'll make some mischief and have a few laughs while we're at it. Well then, will you help me?
Nah, why not? I could use a good laugh.
Listen up then. Those naughty Tachovite bastards have this nice maypole in their village. They're so proud of it, you'd think it's a gift from the king himself. Especially Prochek. Nothing would teach them a lesson better than stealing it and putting it up on the square here. Just to spite them.
So all I have to do is take their maypole and bring it to you?
Aye, exactly. But be careful no one sees you take it. It'll be even better if they don't even know it's missing. Besides, if they catch you, they'll beat the shit out of you. So be careful.
All right, I'll be careful. Thanks.
Excellent. But even if something goes wrong, don't go clobbering anyone over the head, understand? All I want to do is piss Prochek off.
You want to do what to him?
Piss him off! You know, mess with him. For stealing our maypole and our pasture. But remember, no violence, all right?
Of course. I wouldn't hurt a fly. You can count on me.
But go ahead and talk to Prochek. At least you'll see what an asshole he is.
You have a kind master, eh, Matt?
I'm sorry. Are you going to do what we talked about?
Innkeeper, have you got anything to eat?
That's a beautiful maypole you have there. You don't see that every day. I reckon all the other villagers must envy you.
They sure do. Them Zhejevovites try to steal it, but our fellas kick their asses. Why are you so interested in it anyway?
I'm a bit peckish.
I'm from a small town myself, and I can appreciate a nice maypole. I remember having to guard it every year.
Tell me about it. A real headache it is. But for a good cause. Sorry. I'm just a bit on edge these days. And if someone had bad intentions, Henik would show them how we do things here in Tachov. That's the one thing he's good for.
I wanted to ask about Henik.
What about him?
Did he do something to you? Sounds like you're not exactly fond of him.
Aye, I'm not. He's been getting on my nerves ever since he got together with our Manka. I'm afraid he'll mess with her head and run off with her. Just like his bloody brothers did.
Where did they go?
What do I know? One day they just packed up and wandered off. Their village wasn't good enough for them, I reckon. I wouldn't mind if someone went and beat the thought of Manka out of his head. Maybe someone not from around here.
Why not? I can manage that.
He's not much of a fighter, but I reckon if you call him a vagrant or something, it'll surely rile him up. And I'll remember you did me a little favour.
I'll give you another week. What's that? Eh? Lord be with you.
How's it going?
It's shit, to tell you the truth.
How come?
Because I have to guard this bloody maypole. I can't even get a good night's sleep because of it. And there's plenty of other work to do during the day. And then there's... Ah, never mind. Forget it.
What did you want to say? Sometimes it's better to share your troubles. Two heads are better than one, after all.
I mean, if you say so, it's about Manka. I'm sure you've noticed her. She's the prettiest lass around.
Oh, it's hard not to notice her.
Exactly. Me and Manka love each other, but her parents are against it. I don't even know why. They just don't like me. They forbid her from seeing me. We went to a dance together in Troskovice recently, but when they found out, they were furious. Now they're keeping close watch over her and causing problems for me as well.
Well, they can't be watching her all the time, can they? Just go out late at night sometime. Nobody'll notice.
We've done that a few times, but we can't now. There's no time for it. I've got to stand watch at night. I was drawn. This year, they want to keep the maypole up until harvest, and that's still far off.
Listen, I've got an idea. How about I stand watch in your stead for one night? You and Manka can go somewhere in the meantime. Nobody'll know.
You do that for us?
Of course. It's nothing.
All right, we have a deal. Ask Manka and let me know what she says.
Henik, what about your brothers?
What? Why do you care?
No, it's just that I've been hearing some interesting things about them around town.
Pah, let them talk. I don't know anything about them. They left.
Why did they leave?
I'm not sure. This place isn't too bad, but I reckon they wanted to see the world. Penna left after Pa died, and Rudlin right after Ma's passing, so I was left here alone.
And where did they go?
Hard to say. One said he'd head towards Prague. The other decided to go wherever his legs take him. But as for where they are now, I've no clue. They both said they'd return in a year, but they never did. I hope I get to see them again. Shit! I better look around the house to see if anything missing.
Hey, Innkeeper, that beer!
Henik told me about you.
That's great. And why are you telling me?
He said you're having a hard time seeing each other because of your parents. So he came up with a plan.
Aye, that's true. So what did you come up with?
I'll take over guard duty for him, and you two can have some time to yourselves.
Well, that sounds pretty good, actually. So how are we going to do it?
Tonight, when everyone's asleep, you'll sneak out and wait for Henik. I'll take over his watch, and you two, well, you can do whatever you want.
All right, agreed. Tell Henik I'll be waiting for him. He'll know where to go. And tell him I'm looking forward to tonight.
Good news. Manka agrees. She'll be waiting for you tonight. She says you'll know where.
We'll meet by the maypole as soon as it gets dark, all right?
Aye. It's a deal.
Good day to you.
God be with you.
Say, I have this fancy maypole from Tachov here if you're interested.
My God! They're going to slit themselves! Nobody's got them this good in years! You're a champ, Henry! As soon as I saw you, I knew you had it in you. I promised you something, didn't I? And I'm a man of my word.
I wouldn't expect anything less. Thanks. Happy to help.
What do you say we pull one more trick, eh? I'd make it worth your while, of course.
All right. Why not?
Right. Now listen up. Let's really ruin their day, shall we?
I'm all ears.
Them Takovites grazed their sheep near the pasture they took from us. And you're going to scatter their sheep into the woods. What do you say? They'll have to herd them all back. I reckon they'll be proper pissed off.
All right. I'm sure they won't be happy about that.
That they won't. But that's not all. Prochek's beloved son is in charge of the sheep now. You'll make him look like a complete moron.
Prochek's son.
Aye. Prochek is in charge there. He gives me the most grief. And they all care about his opinion. If it wasn't for him, this whole pasture thing would have been sorted a long time ago. On top of that, he thinks his son is gifted, and that he'll be a bailiff somewhere one day. Nothing would piss him off more than seeing his son be the village idiot.
All right. That's a good plan.
Of course it is. I came up with it. The Takovites will be doing the wash thing soon. If you manage to drive the sheep through the drying laundry, I reckon they won't be too thrilled about it. I'll even give you an extra reward.
Say, Olbram, how am I supposed to lure away Prochek's son?
You'll figure it out. Actually, wait. I've got an idea. Slip this into his food, and you'll see.
What will I see?
It's what I give to my cattle for bellyache. Prochek's lad is going to sit all over himself. And while he's gone, you'll be able to chase off his sheep.
All right. That sounds like a plan. I'm on it.
Great. But same as before, all right? Don't go killing anyone, and don't get caught.
Ave Maria. Greetings. And to you.
What can you do?
Oh, well, now just this. Greetings to you two.
Better already.
I'll be right with you.
A beer!
Pour the beer on the table.
I'm done.
Hail. You have a kind master. Very much.
Ave Maria. Feeling better?
Oh, yes. That ointment of yours is a gift from heaven. Now they only ate... God grant you health. Good doggy. Good boy.
I apologize. Why is this all sticky?
Who the hell do you think you are? Are you out of your damned mind? What's the meaning of this? Who the hell do you think you are? You think you're
I'm done with the sheep.
Ha ha! Great! How did it go? Tell me!
Well, I scattered their sheep like you wanted.
That's perfect!
I also trampled their laundry, like you mentioned.
You did? That must have been quite unpleasant for them. They'll have to start over.
Alshik ran like the wind after I slipped him that specialty of yours.
What a sight that must have been!
Aye. I reckon he's still throwing up.
You've taken care of everything. You deserve a reward. And with a bit on top as well. Like I promised. Since you did such a good job.
Thanks, Olbram.
Don't mention it. You're a handy fella. But you could be even better. With my help, of course. They say I'm a good teacher. And listen, one more thing. We'll be meeting the Tachov soon to discuss the pasture they stole from us. I'd like you to come with us. If you're not against it, that is.
Hey, it's that arsehole who scattered our sheep. Just you wait.
What? I don't know about any sheep. You're confusing me with someone else.
Shut it. I don't care about your excuses. You made a fool of my boy. I won't forget that. I'm going to hit you so hard, you'll be picking up teeth from the ground all the way to Trosky.
Wait, I've got a better idea. Olbram of Zhelejov sent me to scatter your sheep. What if I pulled something on him in return? Then we'd be even, right?
Well, all right. But you'd better make a hell of an effort. Now listen up.
So what should I do to the Zhelejovites?
Listen up then. Old Olbram, the owner of the biggest plot of land in Zhelejov, has this beautiful bull. White as snow he is. The finest animal far and wide. Obviously, he's very proud of it. Very protective too. Now you, will give his beautiful snow-white bull a nice new coat of paint. Olbram is going to lose his mind. Simple, right?
Painting a bull, eh? That sounds like fun.
Right. We just have to work out a few details. First, we have to get some paint. I don't reckon we'll be able to get any here in the village. But you can try and ask Prochek, the tailor in Troskovice. I hear he dyes his own fabric. And after that, we'll have to make sure the bull stays still while you're painting it.
Well, that won't be a problem. I know this brew called Lullaby potion. I'll pour some in his water trough. That should do the trick.
That's a bloody good idea. I knew I picked the right helper for this. But watch out. That beast is enormous. You'd better put at least 3 doses of the potion in there.
All right, then. Olbram's bull will be getting a new coat of paint.
Olbram's going to lose his mind. I can't wait. And remember, it's supposed to be a joke. If you get caught or something goes wrong, the whole thing will be ruined.
Right. So I need paint, sleeping potions, and to not get caught. Why do you and the Zhelejov lot hate each other so much, anyway?
It's their fault. They keep playing tricks on us. Olbram's the worst of them all. The nasty old codger. He's always coming up with ways to mess with us. He's the one that stole our pasture.
What pasture did they steal from you?
The one that stretches from the orchard behind the Tachov down to the gamekeeper's lodge. It's been ours since time immemorial, but the Zhelejovites took it from us.
And how did they take it from you? You can't exactly stuff a pasture in your purse and walk away with it.
Save the jokes, will you? This is fucking serious. There's a tree down by the gamekeeper's lodge that marks the edge of our land. My father, God rest his soul, was there when they agreed on it. He got a proper ass kicking so he'd remember it. And remember it he did. But then fucking Olbram came along, claiming it was the other way around. And that pasture belonged to Zhelejov.
Well, can't you all just reach some kind of agreement?
Do you think we haven't tried? But there's no talking to the Zhelejovites. Year after year we meet in that pasture. I tell it like it was, but Olbram always starts spewing his lies. Then we end up arguing until the sun sets. And when the Zhelejovites are at wit's end, they come at us, and nothing ever gets solved. We managed to convince them to at least give us back half the pasture. But I know the whole bloody thing belongs to us. We can't just leave things like this.
Have you tried asking Lord von Burgoth for help?
Of course, but he'd have none of it. He said it's up to the Troskovice Bailiff to sort it out. But the Bailiff couldn't care less. He said we should deal with Olbram ourselves, or he'll have us caned and clapped in the pillory.
And how did they take it from you? You can't exactly stuff a pasture in your purse and walk away with it.
Save the jokes, will you? This is fucking serious. There's a tree. My father, but then fuck...
Well, that's a tough nut to crack.
It was good to see you, my friend.
Greetings.
I've heard you dye your own fabric.
I used to. I tried a few times, but I had to give it up. Troskovice is on a hill, and there's not enough water for that. Why'd you ask?
I'd like to buy some pigment.
I see. Or perhaps I could find some leftover black. If you have enough groschen, it's yours.
Ah, damn. That's more money than I thought. Look, I don't need much. Just a bit will do.
Is that so? What do you want it for, anyway?
Nothing important, really.
All right, whatever. But I'd hate to find out you painted on someone's house. You know what? If I scraped off some of that dry pigment from the edges of the bucket and mixed it with some lard, that could work. Those pigments are a magical thing, eh?
What do you mean?
For example, if you need blue, you can use blueberries or woad leaves. You put them in hot water with the fabric and it'll turn blue. Walnuts good too. With the husks of unripe walnuts, you can get a very nice light brown, sometimes even yellow. The best way to make red is from madder root. And when you add alum or beeswing to the water, the colour gets a beautifully rich shade. Or you could just use plain old black elder. The berries, of course, but they're more for lighter shades. Oh, and privet's not too bad either. If you use its bark and alum, you get yellow. You can even use the leaves. They make a nice green, but it takes forever. But you know what's my favourite way of making yellow? Using dyer's broom or weld. You take a few nice stems, some leaves, a bit of alum, and you get yellow, as bright as a chick's feathers. And for so much cheaper than using saffron or iris, that's the main thing. Buckthorn makes a nice green, maybe the best of all. You use its fruit. They say it can also heal, but I've never tried that. The most important part is the stain, anyway. Like alum, for example. It can create all sorts of shades and give depth and richness to the colour. But even that won't help you if you don't know what to use for what colour. Sometimes you want the fruit, sometimes the bark, sometimes the root, or maybe the leaves. Too bad I don't dye fabric much anymore. But I see you're really into it. You know what? Take some of it for free.
My word. Thank you so much.
Oh, not worth mentioning. Just be careful not to stain yourself. Quality material like this doesn't wash off easily.
I need something that'll put animals to sleep. Prochek said you might know something.
Did you get tired of blacksmithing and take up farming instead? I just happen to know of something. I used a concoction that will put even a startled mare to sleep in no time. I once accidentally drank some and slept for 3 days. But the recipe is an old blacksmith's secret. The kind you don't just give away. You're in the trade, so I can tell you. Listen up then. You take some poppy and thistle and boil them in oil. Then, after it cools off, you add a little herb Paris.
That doesn't sound too complicated. Thank you. friend.
Was willst du?
What do you have for sale?
Danke und viel Glück für die Zukunft, mein Herr.
Aye, almost done.
God grant you health.
Thirsty.
Go to hell! I'll shove steel up
to leave this life. Fucking mutt! Mercy! Spare me!
Gather round and listen! I have to warn you about the greatest evil and
God bless. I wish you a pleasant day.
Can I help you with something?
You shouldn't be walking around in the dark. You rude little beast.
What's that you're doing? Sure.
I was just looking at that bull you've got there. I don't think I've ever seen such a beautiful animal.
Aye, our bull. Olbram's, that is the finest animal far and wide. Olbram's really protective of it.
What do you mean?
For example, we have to watch it all night. Do you know how many times I've stepped in shit in the dark because of this? Farewell, and good night. You can't be here.
All right. What am I going to do with you?
Off you go. Quick.
Aye. This'll be good.
Come on now. You've no business here. Out! That's it. Go now.
It's done. Olbram's bull isn't as white as it used to be.
I knew you wouldn't let me down, mate. Olbram must be having a fit. I can almost see it.
To hell with the fucking pricks. The lousy cities are...
All right, then. You did what I asked, so we're even. And since you already got caught up in our little dispute, maybe you can help me with something else.
So, what can I help the Tachovites with this time?
We're planning to meet with the Zhejevovites in the pasture that they keep arguing with us about. We'll sort it all out with them there. Nicely. Man to man. Wouldn't you like to join us?
Why not? After painting that bull, it would actually be quite a pleasant change to talk things over face to face.
Aye. Talk. We'll get into a huge argument and then start punching each other in the gob. So then, should I send for Olbram so we can get going?
Wouldn't you rather call an end to this endless feud with the Zhejevovites? That way, you'd each have half of the pasture, and everyone's happy, no?
Chance would be a fine thing. Olbram will never give up. He says the whole pasture is his.
The borders by the orchard, that's where I got my ass kicked.
Who knows what the old fool got his ass kicked for back then.
You should talk to the Bailiff and get him to support you.
Thrush? He already said ages ago he doesn't want to get involved. He even threatened us with the stocks if we keep bothering him.
Well, as you wish. You know what? I'll go have a talk with Thrush. Would you wait for me for a bit?
All right, but don't get your hopes up. And don't you go ganging up with them Zhelejov bastards against us.
dare to show your face to me? After what you did at my daughter's wedding?
I apologise. I'm so sorry I ruined the wedding like that.
So you should be. And you should apologise to my daughter Agnes too. The poor girl's been down since the wedding. And it's all your fault.
But I already apologised to her.
Then why is she still sad? Oh, I don't understand.
I came because of the arguments between Tachov and Zhelejov.
What happened this time? Did Olbram piss in Prochek's ale barrels again like last year?
No, but they're getting ready to meet up and beat each other up.
Let them do it then! Maybe a few knocks to the skull will do them good, and they'll leave me alone.
How did the arguments between the Tachovites and Zhelejovites start, anyway?
What do I know? I was a young lad back then, but it's all because of that bloody pasture. Both villages claim that it belongs to them, but nobody has any evidence. So they split it in half, but neither side is particularly happy about it.
Shouldn't you find out who the damn pasture belongs to then, Bailiff?
Why should I? Let them eat each other for all I care. In the worst case, I'll put them all in the stocks. That should sort them out.
I'm sure you have enough worries as is. And the Tachovites and Zhelejovites are just wasting your time. Wouldn't it be worth it to sort it out?
That it would. Bandits are running wild. My daughter is leaving the house. I don't have time for those morons right now. How the fuck am I supposed to find out who the pasture belongs to? I looked in the Chronicle. Things like that tend to be there. But Bailiff Brada, who was here before me, must have been a lunatic. You'd have to be mad to make any sense of that book.
Then let me have a look. I may not be mad, but maybe I'll find something you overlooked. You won't have to worry about anything.
You want to touch such a rare book with those filthy peasant hands? Have you lost your mind?
Filthy peasant hands? Do you know how many books I've read? And I never fold corners. If there's anything actually useful in the Chronicle, I'll find it.
Fine, have it your way. Maybe you'll manage to make some sense of Brada's bullshit. But if I find out you've even opened that book too harshly, you'll have me to answer to.
This Latin phrase looks important. Otherwise it wouldn't be written in red, would it? Fecit ordinem in regione ope clavi ferre. To bring order to the region with the help of an iron nail. That should help me. Go! Ka! Ka! Go! Yes? Hmm? Ah, here's the damn nail. Right in the middle of the pasture. Olbram and Prochek won't be happy.
Wait. Is this supposed to be a chronicle?
Is that a problem?
I'm not a chronicle. Why want a raise for this responsibility?
You won't.
I finally found the damn border between the Tachov and Zhelejov parts of the pasture.
How the hell did you manage that?
I found it in that chronicle of yours. It wasn't easy, but we can finally put an end to all that endless fighting.
Oh, about fucking time. So then, are you sure you found the right place?
Definitely. Bailiff Brada took iron nails and used them to mark the border so that people wouldn't forget where it is. One of them is in the oak tree on the pasture.
That's nice of him and all, but he could have fucking told somebody about it. Who can make sense of those writings of his? At least Olbram and Prochek will leave us alone now. Go to them, and when you all meet in the pasture, I'll ride over and settle this nonsense once and for all. And if those two start arguing again, I'll be hammering nails into their arses instead of trees.
Old Bart, but then I heard him coughing his lungs up in the yard again today.
Not a chance. That old coot will outlive us all.
I sorted everything out. Let's go and meet the Zhelejovites and have a discussion.
Finally! Come on, let's call the lads over and send for Olbram. Well, Zhelejovites, did you miss us?
Of course they did. I reckon they hardly slept a wink.
Can you blame them? I'd rather come and get a beating than hang around in Zhelejov too.
You see? They're provoking us again. There's no use trying to negotiate with them.
There's nothing to negotiate, old man. The pasture is ours, and that's final.
Bullshit! You know right well that I got smacked around as a child in that orchard, right over there.
You know what? Now you'll get smacked around here too.
Enough! Does anybody here have anything better to do?
Trust? What are you doing here?
This shouldn't concern you, Bailiff. We'll just beat those bastards' arses and go home.
Don't you think there's been enough fighting and nonsense?
I won't tolerate this nonsense in my territory.
Tell that to the Zhelejovites. Maybe they'll finally get it into their thick heads that this pasture is ours.
In your dreams, you Tachovite swine!
Kurva! Be quiet already!
You're both wrong. The pasture is split in half. From here to that oak over there is Zhelejov property, and from the oak on it belongs to Tachov.
We're supposed to share with them? Ha!
How do you know? You're not even from around here.
But unlike you, yokels, he can read. It's all there, black on white, in the Troskovice Chronicle. So you'll obey it and finally give it a rest.
They've done so much to hurt us. They should have to make it up to us. Make them pay.
None of that. They're the ones always provoking us. You know what? Let's give them a nice final bashing.
Knock it off already. Haven't you had enough of all this senseless arguing over the years? All those worthless problems and wasted time? Can't you just shake hands and make up?
That's right. From this point forward, this dispute is over. And if I hear about anyone causing trouble again, I'll have you all clapped in the pillory. Together. Now pack up and go home.
Well, Grandpa, are you satisfied?
Kurva, not in the... Right it.
Now, I hope the Tachovite and Zhelejovites won't be at each other's throats for a while.
I can hardly believe it. I'm sure Lord von Berghoff will be delighted with how I handled it.
How you handled it?
Aye? With a little help from you. True enough. It's nice that someone deals with problems instead of making more for a change.
Ah, don't mention it.
Leave it off. We've got our good name back. Since you did so well with the Chronicle, I have another book of knowledge for you. I didn't get much out of it myself, but maybe you'll find something revealing in it. That's a damn fine reward, don't you think?
My word. Thank you.
My God, what now?
Careful, there are thieves about.